Oh, so we are going to sit or stand, however, not sit or stand, sit or lie, however feels good to you. That's it. And we're just going to take our time to get ourselves comfortable, whether that's putting cushions behind your back, propping yourself up with pillows underneath you, sitting on a block. Basically, whatever works for you is perfect. And we're going to help you today reconnect in the present moment. So I would like you to either allow your eyes to close or maybe just soften the gaze somewhere. We're going to allow your body to draw in feelings of calm and stability. So feel your body and notice the points of contact between yourself and the floor. And so you may be noticing the mat underneath you or the bed. And feel whatever surface it is you're resting on, supporting underneath you. And if you're able to, place your feet flat on the floor. So if you're seated, you might want to lean back against something or against your hands if it feels okay to you. Or if you're lying down, you might want to bend your knees. And give your toes a wiggle. And then curl and uncurl your toes a few times. And spend a moment just noticing the sensations in your feet. And then allow your feet to settle down onto the surface they're resting on. And I want you to connect now with the earth. Imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet and extending down into the earth and anchoring you. And notice the solidness and support of the ground beneath you. Imagine those roots stabilizing you. And in return, visualize the earth's energy flowing up through your roots and into your body, providing the stability and strength you need to get through today. And if you want to shift your position to something more comfortable, feel free. And then move your mind to your sit bones and your buttocks. And feel their connection with the earth underneath you. How gravity and the earth is supporting you. And how the energy flows through you. Using your breath as you inhale, imagine drawing in the earth's energy. And as you exhale, release any tension or stress down into the ground. Breathing in energy and healing into your body. And then allowing the earth to draw anything that doesn't serve you away. And while you're doing this, imagine how the earth is recycling the energy within your body. Drawing in all nurture and nature and healing. And drawing out anything that doesn't feel good, any stagnant energy. Imagine how the earth is renewing all the cells within your body. Giving you everything that you need. And then gently allowing your eyes to open, flutter open so they get used to the light again. And moving down onto your backs. That's if you're not already. That's it. And you might want to just shuffle your position so you're lengthening your spine on your bed or your mat. So you're creating space in the vertebra. So we're going to lengthen the legs, ideally without kicking any dogs or cats in the way. And when you lengthen your legs, notice how it feels underneath your back. So some of you might find that this is a bit too much for your lower back, in which case use what you've got. So Katie's got a lovely bolster underneath her knees. Being in bed means generally we have lots of pillows. So feel free to put pillows underneath as well. That's it. And we're going to breathe out as we draw the knee in towards the chest. And breathe in as we push it away. Breathing out, knee to chest. Breathing in, sending away. Moving now your attention to your pelvis, trying to find a way to stabilize your pelvis. And the breath will naturally help. Breathing out to move, breathing in to release. See if you can use your belly button to embed the pelvis down into the mat. And we're going to change this very slightly by lifting the leg directly upwards. Now that's harder because the weight is bigger in the leg because it's further away from you. Your lever lengths are longer. So you need to work harder on your tummy muscles to stabilize as you swap from one leg to the other. Notice as you lower the leg down if your back is wanting to arch, and see if you can counteract that by lifting up your tummy. And your legs might start feeling a little bit warm, a little bit achy. And before we get to that point, especially if you have got exercise intolerance, I'd like you to rest before you get to that point. And then take a moment to find stillness in your body again. And a couple of deep breaths. That's it. We're going to open our palms up to the sky. And while you're here, you might like to shuffle the shoulders away from your ears. They may have lifted while you were concentrating on your legs. And here we're going to very gently sway the knees side to side, nice and slowly. Breathing in as the knees move to the side. Breathing out as you return. Breathing in. And breathing out. And if you find it quite hard to stabilize, so if you're going quite far to one side and it's an effort to stop yourself, Use your props, use pillows or balls. And I find having the ball there just as a reminder to stop me going too far is really useful. So I tend to swap mine side to side. Liz puts the ball between her knees, which is a nice way to stabilise hips as well. And then we're going to increase the strength in your tummies by bringing the feet together and the knees together. Now I'd like you to squeeze the thighs so you're activating deep in your inner thigh. And these legs aren't going to slide over each other. So as the knees move towards one side, your foot is going to stay stacked on top of the ankle. So your foot will lift up in line with your pelvis and then return. So it's a very similar move to what we just did, but this time a lot more is going on in your body. You're a lot more activated. That's it, you've got it. Vicky, you're doing a marvellous job with your gorgeous dog. He's getting involved. That's it. And then working once again on our tummy muscles and our tummy strength, we're going to bring the feet to hip width apart, finding a way to stabilize our belly, our pelvis using our bellies. So you might want to lift up a touch, but only enough that you can still breathe as you float one knee into the air, into your perfect tabletop position where there'll be a 90 degrees here and a 90, I'll move my other leg out of the way so you can see that 90 degrees there as well. And then float that one down, keeping the 90 degrees in your knee. We're going to stick with that same knee for a moment as we keep that 90 degrees, hinging at the hips as we lift and lower. And this is quite hard, so you might feel those muscles getting warm in your thighs. So do feel free to rest whenever you need. So we're probably just going to do 4 today, considering everyone's energy is a little bit low and we're struggling with pain. And we'll swap sides to find our perfect tabletop position and then send it away.
I've got mirrored wardrobe doors, so it's very handy to see if I am actually at 90 degrees.
I love that. That's it. Some people use their image on Zoom as well to check. That's it. And then when you're ready, lower the feet down and gently sway the knees side to side. Okay, there's been a lot of lower body stuff, so we're going to move to the arms. So bringing the hands up towards the sky. And we're going to do protraction, retraction of the shoulder blades, but we're going to do one at a time so we can feel that movement. So we're going to push one shoulder blade away from the mat and return it back down. And then the other shoulder blade away from the mat and return it back down. If having your hands up here doesn't feel good, you could cross them here and then shove, definitely not shove, gently push up your shoulder away from the floor and return. And the other side and return. So it's like you're lifting the shoulder blade off the mat and returning. Now notice what's happening in your neck. I know a lot of people, when they're doing this, bring lots and lots of tension to their neck. So see if you could unclench the jaw. You could do some gurning. Oh, I'm very good at that. That's it. Pull me some faces. Separate your teeth away from the bottom teeth from the top. That's it. So nice and smooth. Now this, for people with POTS, holding your arms up for a sustained period of time can be quite difficult. So you might want to try a bit and then bring your arms down and do the same here. That's it. Okay, we're now going to roll over onto our sides. So take your time getting into that position. And use all the cushions you can to help your head feel comfortable. So my go-to position is arm, pillow, head, but some people prefer arm in front and a couple of pillows underneath like this instead. And if you have hypermobility, which a lot of this class do, this shoulder underneath might really be curving inwards. See if you could maybe draw it back a bit so you're resting on your shoulder instead of your shoulder blade when it's underneath you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that, isn't it? And generally we tend to sleep with that curved right underneath us. So that's why I like this one, because I'm less curved. Okay, so this shoulder, try and slide it away from your ear, because often we tend to be up here or this way. So try and bring it away. Sometimes putting a block or a pillow or something in front of you can really help you maintain that position, and then it stops you straining this bit here. So pillow, squishmallow, anything that you've got available. I also find this one works quite well as long as you don't do this. This one reminds me to keep my hips still. So choose what works for you. We're going to do an adapted clam. So those of you who've got painful hips, this is a bit nicer. So we're going to float the knee up in one and float it back down. Okay, so the clam, if you're new to Pilates, is this one, but that external rotation can sometimes be a bit much, especially if you've got hip bursitis. So this one's generally a little bit safer. Good. And while you're here, trying to relax everything going on here. Breathing helps with that. And we're going to gently lift so it's hovering above the other leg and push. When you push, flex the heel and then return back. You could return back all the way in towards your chest if you like. So pushing and flexing and return. And this is quite hard because legs are heavy, aren't they? So if you need to rest at any point because you're really feeling it, that's absolutely fine.
Would using a band to support your leg be okay?
It'll be okay, yeah. Absolutely fine.
I feel like
Where
I'm
are-
really bracing the opposite hip flexor. Is that
Everyone rest a second. Vicky, say that again. You feel your...
I really like, so I'm doing it with my left leg and I feel like I'm clamping the muscle or in my right sort of hip area.
here
Is that
in the front.
bad?
Is it in the front? Or is it
No, the back.
Okay, so when you lift and do this, it's very natural for this leg to be stabilising you.
Yeah.
So that is not a bad thing, that's a good thing because it's
Oh.
naturally stabilising, which means that when we all move over to the other side, we're going to tire a lot quicker because this leg has already been working.
Yeah.
So no, it's a really good question.
I'd got a question as well.
Go for
The
it. But make sure everyone's resting.
Yeah.
Go for it, Anne.
The place where I'm feeling it, it's my left leg that's moving, and I'm feeling it in my left groin.
Inside here.
Yeah, does that mean I'm doing something wrong, or is that just my body?
I think it's probably just your body. Some people do. It might mean that you're using these muscles more,
Yeah.
these muscles, which is natural. And it's actually the opposite to what most people feel, which is they tend to use these muscles more than these muscles. So in time, we might need to work more on the outward movement, the abductor, as opposed to the adductor.
Yeah. No, that's cool, because as soon as I tried really focusing on the outside muscles, I did it and it didn't twinge.
Well done. What I do want to say though, if it is pain in there, it could be something else, in which case I'd recommend you reset. So maybe move onto your back and encourage a bit of an openness and then come back into it. So the next thing we're going to do is bring the knees in front of us a little bit. And I'm going to move my block out the way. And we're going to keep the knees stacked on top of each other and slide the hand forward very gently and slide it back. And you don't need to go far. So with your head, this position's usually okay when you're sliding forward and back, but if you do need to adjust, use whatever you've got available to you to keep your head supported, because some people prefer having their arms like this when they're doing this one. So it's a gentle forward and back, not too far. That's it. Noticing if you're gripping your inner thighs. So I wonder if Anne might be now gripping while we're doing this. Yeah. So just very gently try and relax the legs, lift up the tummy just a little bit. Try not to brace as you do this one. And one more. That's it. And take a moment to rest. And we're going to roll over or twizzle round. So you choose what's better for your body. Bringing your feet into the clam position, which is heels lined up with bottom. Finding a nice position for your head.
Okay.
That's it. Good boys down. Okay. Well done. Stacking the knees on top of each other. And we're going to gently float and gently return. And this time you might notice that your bottom leg is feeling it as you're pushing the top leg up and down. That's it. Sometimes I find putting my hand on the muscle I want to activate really helps me get in touch with it. So it's just creating that connection. So for now we're trying to work the abductor here as we lift and lower. And you may feel a little bit of a hardness coming into your hand as you gently lift and lower. And that's done quite a few times on that one now, so you might be quite achy. So let's send the leg away and return in towards your chest, pushing that foot away. With this one, I'm not so concerned if you're locking your knee because you're not putting your weight on your knees. However, if your kneecaps are quite unstable, sometimes that can cause a little bit of a slide of the kneecap with your leg hyperextending. So you might want to keep a softness to your knee as you push away. That's it. Well done, Liz. And then we're going to bring these legs in front of us, knees stacked, and take a moment to rest. So you might want to give them a bit of love. And adjusting your pillows so your arms can go in front if that feels better for you. As we slide that top hand forward and back. And I know that you probably want to go all out on this and make this move really big, but I highly recommend you keep it quite gentle and only send the hand a little bit forward, maybe a hand's reach away and return. And I'll go with a small hand reach. So if you've got big hands, then I wouldn't go too far. And one more. And then take a moment to rest. That's it. Well done. Okay, we're going to very gently sit up. So take your time, especially if you've got props, pushing yourself into a seated position. And this is where you could use cushions underneath your bum, if you've got anything like that available to you. That's it. And remember, you can stay lying down if you prefer, so don't force yourself to sit up if you don't want to. And try to find a comfy position for you. So roll those shoulders back, sitting tall. We're going to very gently look towards one shoulder and return. And look towards the other shoulder and return. That's it. And then we're going to draw little rainbows, but still allowing space for your juicy peach underneath your chin. That's it. I meant to say upside down rainbows as well with this one. And then coming back to the centre. And holding on to yourself for support. So you might want to put your hands underneath your thighs or on your knees. We're going to extend the chest. So if you're lying down still, I'd like you to draw the shoulder blades together and down on the mat or the bed and return. So it's a very small move, together and down and return. If you are sitting up, draw the chest forward and use the hands supporting you to push that chest forward. And we're still looking after our necks. We're not letting our necks hang backwards as we do this. And then we're going to curve. So gently curve back using your hands for support. So chest forward, or if you're lying down, shoulders rolled back and down. And back. So, and check in with yourself, see if you've remembered to still breathe as when you're doing these. That's it. Gorgeous necks, everybody. Well done. Okay. Small rotation. So we're going to put the hand on the opposite thigh and reach behind, but try not to tug. So this is to support, not to pull. So come tall and gently rotate. If you're lying down, you could bring your arms out and reach one hand towards the other. So you're introducing a little rotation and return. And then you would go the other way like this. And return. Perfect. So if you're sitting up, gently swap sides. Remember, you're not tugging, you're just supporting as you breathe in. And exhale. Breathe in. That's it. One more. Coming back to the centre. We're going to float one arm up as we reach over. So you're going to push the opposite hip down into the mat as you reach. If you're lying down, push one leg away from you, one hip, so you're creating space between your hip and your rib cage. So you keep your pelvis really still. I can do it on my back. And you're pushing that bit away and then returning and that bit away, just creating a bit of space between your hip and your rib cage. That's it. With this one, with the arms above the head, you can also go like this, or you can go like this. Then we're going to go diagonally. So we're going to look down towards the knee, push the opposite hip away from you. And this is where being in your bed or on the floor is really lush, because your legs, if you've got them in a crossed position or a V, you can create some nice space in your sacroiliac joint. And you've got some big muscles there called quadratus lumborum muscles, and they're big, okay? And they can get really tight when they're trying to stabilize your pelvis and your back. So we're creating a little bit of space, but we're not holding that stretch for long periods. We're moving in and out, which is much safer. And so, then when you're ready, come back to the center. Fold yourself over your legs, letting your head dangle. Rolling your way back up into a seated position. And as we always finish a class, celebration of your gorgeous bodies as you reach the hands up towards the sky to your height, breathing in. And exhale, pressing the hands down past your chest. So today was very much a grounding with the earth day, working the mobility and strength in the hips and the buttocks and the thighs. So I hope that felt good. Well done, everybody.